Hello and welcome to Cindershadow Gaming. I am your host Cindershadow, and today we're going to talk about Scarlett Johansson versus Disney. And we're doing this live, so everyone say hi to everyone else out there on YouTube if you want. So Scarlett Johansson and Disney, it's pretty crazy. Disney's pretty much let her go after she filed her lawsuit. It's pretty crazy. Just everything that went down with it. And you know what? I found from Screen Rant, we've got a timeline of how these things went down. And you can see there Mickey Mouse all pissed off with Disney, from Disney, and everything with Scarlett Johansson. Hollywood was in a shock when the news broke that she was suing Disney, and neither side seems to be willing to back down. And you know what? Disney's trying to sit there and go, well, you gotta give leeway for the pandemic. A multi-million-dollar corporation that's making billions of dollars in these movies. Yeah, Screen Rant, I get it. It's the lulz, but we'll go into more of it. This is just more for the breakdown of what's going on. So initially what happened was, instead of the movie only releasing in theater, it released in theater and on Disney Plus for premium release members. And in contracts, these contracts go back years, and why we've always had a release in theaters before it goes on to streaming services and stuff like that was because actors and actresses get a partake in movie sales. That's part of their contracts. So by it releasing on Disney Plus, it now takes away from part of the key audience. And I don't know, nowhere have I figured out if the Disney Plus money, some of it gets funneled to the actress or actresses. Actress or actor. It's hard to tell if it does do that. So after multiple delays, Black Widow finally premiered on July 9th. The movie debuted simultaneously in cinemas and Disney Plus, grossing $219 million worldwide, including $80 million from box office. Disney also provided streaming numbers, declared the movie grossed $60 million in premiere access. So here's the thing. You got $60 million that goes to a streaming service and $80 million that goes to the box office. She only gets a portion of what happens in the box office. I don't think what would have happened in the premiere access she would have had entitlement to. And that's where it was, that was where the contracts break and everything like that. I know Scarlett Johansson did this, and then Disney followed up with a public tweet saying, oh, she made $20 million. We're not evil or anything like that. And yet Disney's trying to ruin the world right now. On top of things like Disney introducing pay-to-win passes for their theme parks, new apps that you've got to pay to use, and a $6,000 suit alongside one of the Star Cruisers from Star Wars. It's absolutely ridiculous. All the nickel and diming Disney is happening to do right now, and I think this happened last time we had this sense of inflation going through everything. Everything got flowing through the winds, and then it continued on down the line. Basically, actor isn't getting paid more than the obscene wages they get already, gets pissed, sues Disney, Disney blacklists her in response. Ultimately, everyone is upset about money. Yeah, and that's what it is. Everyone really does get upset about it. So on the 29th, she sues Disney. On the 9th, it came out on both. On the 29th, which is the same day the file was sent, Disney fires back at Scarlett Johansson, saying she's making $20 million out of this. What more do you want? Scarlett Johansson's agent, like the agency that represents her, came to her defense here, because you don't normally see an agency stepping in on this type of thing. Ultimately, and then Kevin Feige is angry at Disney, some report says. Emma Stone was considering it, but it sounds like that went away. But on July 30th, several female-led Hollywood groups accused Disney of gendered attack. I don't believe that's what this is. I don't think just because it happened to be Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson, if there was a male version, I think the same thing would have came out. I don't see that. Report claims Bob Iger is mortified by Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit. Of course he is. And then this says Disney should be ashamed. And now it's uncertain future for Hollywood. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we've got the Bounding into Comics version of it. And the rumor is that Disney was cutting ties. This is a few days ago. I'm pretty sure this is what is happening. When you sue the company you're working for, you're going to be at either sides of the coin. And is this really the end of her working with Disney? Was she ever going to work with Disney again anyway? I think Scarlett Johansson has a well-established career in front of her. Having being put on the Disney blacklist, though, that might trickle down to her not seeing many roles in the future. But I honestly like Scarlett Johansson. I think she does an amazing job. I think she's very athletic at what she does. And for the roles that she was given, she portrayed them pretty well. However, I still have not seen the Black Widow movie. I do want to see it, although I've heard it's kind of not the same thing, and it really did become more of the women's version of the MCU, which I'm like, if you're really pushing that narrative, is it really the MCU, or is it just bad writing that's taking hold here? And because I've heard a little bit of that, but I still want to judge the movie for myself and see if I enjoy it. New rumor claims that Walt Disney Company has cut ties with Black Widow after filing the lawsuit. Yes, we already know that. The lawsuit specifically claims that Disney's intentional and improperly induced Marvel to breach its agreement with Scarlett Johansson by releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus simultaneously with release in theaters. Here is one of the other thing about the streaming services is you're not supposed to be able to do a public viewing unless it's paid for, like it is with movies. And then when you get to these streaming services, if you're actually doing a public viewing of movies, it can get copyrighted, and it can be, there's a lot of things that can come down. That's why you can't just take a movie and show it up on a screen, projection screen, out in the middle of a park without going through some loopholes first. So yeah, it just comes down to it. She's seeking monetary and punitive damages against Disney. Ultimately, they should have redrawn the contract and said that, listen, I know these things we've got the world right now. We're going to cut you in a little bit of the profits that we do this on the secondary streaming service. And then ultimately, I think that would have been all that they needed to do to appease what's going on here. Disney has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus and Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million has received to date. And the idea behind that was it created more draw to the movie, so then it gave her more because people then wanted to see it in the theater. I don't really get that. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. There is talk with Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, his movie's coming out. They're not releasing it on Disney Plus right away. It's going strictly to theaters, and a lot of people are watching this one mainly because it's the way that they're going to see. Are people going back to theaters? Do people want to see movies in the theaters, or do we got to get past a certain point and then people start going back to the theaters? And that's what they're using Free Guy now. Even though reviews are mixed, we'll have to wait to see. My heart bleeds for all of these poor, struggling, multi-millionaire actors and actresses. Oh, Crash Test, you're funny. It's not so much that, yeah, they're getting tons of millions of dollars and stuff like that. It's Disney is set to make more money and give less to the actor or actress. So that's what's going on there. They're still going to roll in all this money, but should Disney have the cut that they're getting from it? And that's the biggest deal with what's going on with Disney. So there's just so many things that I see wrong with the way this went. I think this could have been easily dealt with outside of the courts. And I don't think Scarlett Johansson would have taken this up in a lawsuit if she didn't try the natural path of going to them first and saying, hey, listen, we need to work this out. This is not going to be the way our original contract was. It's extraordinary circumstances in the first place with the pandemic and COVID and all this other stuff. But I think we can work this out. And it sounds like Disney just went, no, we've already fulfilled it. You got your money, be gone with you type of thing. And the House of Mouse is very tough to take on, and a lot of people have taken them on and lost in the past, but this may have some staying power with what's going on everywhere. Anyway, this is your proud Canadian Phoenix. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for joining me with the live chat.